What actually restores a high achiever? It's not what you think. If you've ever sat with a full cart, a packed schedule, and you still felt empty, like nothing in that cart is going to fix what you keep trying to not feel on the inside. I'm talking not the course, not the wine, not even the trip you planned last year. Well, it's because deep down you actually know what you need, and you've known for a while. Yet somehow, some way, you still manage to sit there with a crooked smile, thinking like maybe this one thing, this will be it. Maybe this trip, maybe this new plan, maybe this next version of me. But the truth is, you don't need another distraction. You need a return. So today we are not just talking about rest, we're talking about restoration. And trust me, they're not one and the same. If you are the high achiever, the strong one, the fixer, the one who keeps showing up while quietly running on E, listen up. It's time to stop shopping for relief and start restoring yourself. I'm Shatika Miles, also known as Miss T, and this is Who's CTV. And this conversation is part of the Loyalty Tax series, where we discuss burnout, identity, and energy drains. This season, we've been circling around one question from a lot of different angles. What happens to the person who became dependable before they became whole? The strong one, the fixer, the high achiever, the person everyone calls because they know they will answer. The person who became so useful that being needed started feeling like proof that they mattered. Is that you? See, somewhere along the way, the life you kept holding on to, the one you kept holding together, stopped looking like the life that you were trying to build. That's the loyalty tax. It's the invisible cost that you pay when your usefulness becomes your identity. So today, we are going deeper because once you see the tax, once you can put a name on the pattern, once you realize you've been running on E, the next question is not just, how do I get rest? The question is, what actually fills me back up? Why will a bath not work? Before we get into it, let me ask you a question. When is the last time you did something just for you? Oh, that person just said they took a bath. Cool. Someone else just said they got a massage. Oh, you went for a quiet morning stroll. While the other person just said they turned their phone over. You told yourself, oh, I finally got some rest. But then the next day you woke up and you still felt the same. Maybe your body was a little calmer. Maybe your face looked less tired. Maybe you had a few hours where no one asked for anything. But inside, you still felt empty. You still felt heavy. You still felt like you were carrying that same quiet drain that you can't explain without sounding ungrateful. And it's not because you did self-care wrong. Nope, you heard that here first. You didn't do it wrong. It's because you were using a rest to solve a restoration problem. And those are two different things. See, rest, it stops the depletion. Restoration actually refills something. Think about your car. If your car is out of gas and you park it in a garage, yes, the car stops burning more fuel. But parking it does not put gas in the tank. That is what the bath does. It parks you for 1 hour. It gives you that moment for pause. It gives your body a chance to stop leaking energy for 1 minute. But if the tank was empty when you got in, it's still going to be empty when you get out. That's why so many high achievers are frustrated. You are doing what people told you to do. Take a break, slow down, get some rest, light a candle, say no, go outside. All of that can help, but none of it answers the deeper question. So be honest, think about it. A bath cannot fix being loyal to somebody who keeps stepping out on you. A nap cannot fix a family system where everybody gets to fall apart except you. A face mask can't fix a job that keeps rewarding your competence with more work and less regard. A quiet morning walk cannot fix years of being the person who says, I got it. When what you really meant was, I'm drowning too. I know somebody just said, but Miss T, I cannot just stop. I did not say stop living. I said stop volunteering your soul for people who would not even bring water when you are burning. That's all. That's what I said. Because that's not the same thing. It's not. What was taken from you before you knew you had to protect it? That is where restoration begins. Look, the bath, it was never built for that. Let me say this plain and simple. You are not tired because you need a bath. Newsflash. You are tired because you survived situations that changed how you saw yourself. And then you called it being strong. You cannot bubble bath your way out of being loyal to somebody who keeps stepping out on you. And you definitely cannot face mask your way out of a job that keeps rewarding your competence with more work. And you can't take a nap and think that your way out of a family system where everybody gets to fall apart except for you. Look, the bath was never built for that. Point blank, period. This is not a regular tired that you're feeling right now. This is depletion with a good reputation. Now let's find out what was taken. What was it? Here's what I have learned over the years about high achievers and depletion. The emptiness that most of us feel did not start with burnout. Who knew? See, burnout was just where it finally became loud enough to notice. The real depletion, it started earlier. It started somewhere between being assigned the role of the strong one and performing it so well that everybody forgot it was a role. You stopped doing the things that filled you up. Not all at once. Slowly. First, you stopped because you were busy. Been there, done that. Then you stopped because it felt selfish. Then you stopped because nobody else stopped. Then you stopped because everybody had needs. And your needs, they always seem like the least urgent thing in the room, in the atmosphere. So after a while, you didn't even have to be asked. You just adjusted yourself automatically. You made yourself easier to need. You made yourself readily available. You made yourself reliable. You made yourself Yet in the process, you became less and less familiar with yourself. And that right there is why a bath won't work. Because you are not trying to recover from a hard week's work. You are trying to recover from years of abandoning yourself in small, quiet, socially acceptable ways. And that requires more than rest. That requires going back for the part of you that got buried underneath years of responsibility. And I'm speaking from lived experience. So ask yourself this: what did you love before you became who everyone needed you to be? Not what were you good at. Not what made people proud. Not what made people applaud. What did you love? See, that question will tell you more about restoration than most advice ever will. It's time to figure out what actually fills a high achiever. What fills them? Well, let me tell you what fills me. Because I spent a long time trying to figure this out while everyone else had an opinion about what should work for Shatika. And you already know it wasn't a bath. What fills me is this: my hands in the soil. See, something growing because I chose to plant it. Herbs that started as seeds in January. They sat in my basement under grow lights. And they ended up in a jar of BTP body balm and soaps, all made with my own hands. See, that fills me up. Or me walking in a beauty supply store and introducing myself on my own terms. That, it fills me up. Recording this video where I say something true and one of you says in the comments, I thought I was the only one. That fills me up. It's not because all of those things are easy. It's not because all of it pays me right away. And it's not because it makes sense to everybody watching from the outside. It fills me up because it's mine. And dirt, it doesn't guilt trip me. See, a seed does not ask me to abandon myself so I can grow it. My herbs don't play in my face and then expect me to keep showing up like nothing happened yesterday. When I plant something, water it, and watch it grow, there is an honesty in that exchange. I give to it and it gives me back. That is restoration. That is the part high achievers miss. Sometimes the thing that restored you is not the thing that looks relaxing. It's the thing that brings you back to ownership, back to choice, back to your own hands, back to the version of you that still knows what she or he loves when nobody's clapping. So for me, it's my garden. It is creating, it's building something from nothing. For you, it might be painting, music, walking without tracking your stat, cooking because you enjoy it, not because everybody needs to eat right now, writing a book without trying to publish it, dancing in the kitchen, sitting in silence without turning it into a prayer, planning, or a problem-solving mission. Whatever it is, it probably did not disappear because you stopped loving it. It disappeared because you stopped choosing yourself long enough to protect it. That is what restoration asks you to reclaim. See, some of you are not tired because life is busy. You're tired because people keep pulling up to you empty and leaving full. Baby daddy, empty, pulls up, leaves full. Girlfriend, empty, pulls up, leaves full. Boss, empty, pulls up, leaves full. Adult child, empty, pulls up, leaves full. Friend, empty, pulls up, leaves full. Do you see the pattern? And then you sit there wondering why you don't have enough or anything left for your own dreams. Your own body, your own house, your own peace, your own future. There, I said it. That's not love. Again, it's a pattern. And I know somebody just said, but that's my family. Did you just say that? I know it's your family, and that is why it is expensive. See, strangers usually don't get that much access to you. But family, they do you in, baby, because they know they can. The loyalty tax is not just about work. It is when your loyalty keeps costing you money, sleep, peace, confidence, time, and self-respect. And everyone else still calls it love, family, teamwork, being strong. You've heard it before. This can happen in marriages and relationships, family, jobs, churches, businesses, friendships. It just can happen all the way around. Tax, different rooms, different situations, different seasons. It still happens. Now there's one question that changes the room entirely. Can you feel it? Can you see it? Can you hear it? The question is, and I want you to sit with it. Don't rush it. If nobody needed anything from you tomorrow, what would you do? And if you answer with, I'm doing chores, yeah, right. And don't answer with catching up. Catching up on what? Don't answer with all the things you would finally have time to fix all at once. That is still usefulness talking. I'm asking, what would you do if your value was not being measured by how much you handled in a day? Would you sleep? Would you sit outside? Would you drive somewhere with no real reason to be there? Would you make something? Would you take yourself to lunch? Would you pull out the notebook you keep pretending you don't miss? Would you go back to the thing you used to love before life got too busy and too loud? Because that's the answer that matters. Because the first honest answer is usually a thread. And if you follow that thread, it starts leading you back to yourself. It's time to build a restoration practice. Now, let me make this practical, if I can. And I'm not talking 10-step plans. We don't have time. We're high achievers. Not another routine that you can fail at. Just 3 things. First, find the one thing that makes you feel like yourself. Not useful, not impressive, not productive, just you. For me, you know it's a garden. For you, it may be something completely different, and it's cool. I love that for you. But there is always something. You just stop making time for it because it did not look important enough. It's important enough. It is. Yes, it is. Second, protect it before you are empty. Do not wait until you're angry. Do not wait until you are resentful. Do not wait until you are crying in a car wondering how everybody got access to you except for you. Put it somewhere in your real life. 20 minutes here, 3 times a week. It doesn't need to be announced, no speech, no asking everybody if they're comfortable with you having a piece of yourself to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just put it there and honor it. Third, stop treating restoration like it's a reward. This is where high achievers mess themselves up. See, you keep thinking you have to earn the thing that refills you. After the work is done, after everybody's settled, after things slow down, but you know as well as I know, things do not slow down. You already know that. So you need a delivery schedule. A gas station does not wait until every tank is bone dry before calling the truck. The delivery comes before the station runs out of gas. That is how it keeps serving you. You need the same thing. Not a breakdown schedule, not a crisis schedule, not a when I cannot take it anymore schedule. A delivery schedule. Something that fills you before you're empty. And look, it's not a luxury. That's called maintenance. And I know darn well you understand maintenance. You have been maintaining everything else for years. Now do yourself a favor and maintain you. And that is exactly why you've been feeling drained. But knowing the problem is only half the battle. Do not leave with awareness and no plan. The 30-minute reset session was built for exactly this moment. 30 minutes, one problem, one plan. The link is in the description. Because awareness tells you what is wrong. Action is what changes it. Otherwise, you'll be right back here next week reheating the same problem like last week's leftovers. Before I take this into the next layer, I want to ask you one question. What is one thing you're going to reclaim? Not fix, not optimize, not add to your to-do list. Your list is full. It's time to reclaim something that was yours before life got loud. True story. Let me know down in the comments if you're ready to name it. And if you are not ready to say it out loud yet, write it down. Because the things we name become the things we stop abandoning. Let me say this because I know my people. Some of you like the drama, but you are not here just for the mess. You are here because somewhere inside the story is the part that you live. The baby father who kept stepping out, the woman who kept playing in your face, the family that only called you strong when they benefited from the weight that you carried, the job that kept dressing up your exploitation as, ooh, this great opportunity. That's the drama that I'm talking about. But the tea is deeper. The tea is what made you believe. The tea is what it made you believe about yourself. The tea is what trained you to tolerate. The tea is what part of your purpose got buried while you were trying to survive it. Come for the story, leave with a lesson. Who's CTV is not here to collect people who are just watching me talk. I'm here for the person who still has something in them. But life got so loud and life got in a way that they stopped hearing themselves. You are not behind. You are buried underneath everything. And we are going back for what still belongs to you. This was never the vision. Let's tell the truth. Some of you are not just tired. You are realizing the life you keep maintaining was never the vision. You stayed loyal. You kept showing up. You carried grief, bills, disrespect, responsibility, in everyone else's emergencies. Now you are looking around like, where am I in this life? I told you this channel was built from lived experience and change, and that question is not weakness. That is purpose trying to get your attention. So no, you're not behind, but you have been doubting, strategizing. But we're going back for what still belongs to you. The goal is not just to stop being drained. The goal is to recognize the part of you that still has purpose, that still has vision, that still has something to build, even after everything life made you carry. This is where the first arc of season 1 landed. See, we named the loyalty tax. We looked at the cost of being the reliable one. We looked at the way high achievers disappear inside their usefulness. We looked at the silence that comes after you stop overgiving. We looked at identity, burnout, energy drains, and what happens when you are no longer willing to abandon yourself just to keep a broken pack comfortable. Now, here we are, restoration, the refill, the return, because the goal was never just to stop being drained. The goal is to become present in your own life again, not just useful in everybody else's. That is the shift. Call it a mindset shift. Whose CTV is now going to be moving into the next layer. And I don't mean burnout or just boundaries, not just saying no in conversations that leave you standing there with no plan, no purpose. We are going into identity after usefulness. Who are you when nobody needs you to perform, rescue, fix, hold, carry, prove, or explain? That is where this gets real. Because leaving the pattern, that's just one part of the puzzle. Living without the role, that's another. You came into this conversation as a person who has always been tired, but still somehow available. The one who holds it together. The one who shows up. The one who just figures it all out. The one who continuously pays the loyalty tax without ever receiving a bill. And maybe today, something finally clicked. Maybe you realize rest has not been working because you were never just tired. You were empty. See, some of you have been loyal through disrespect, useful through heartbreak, productive through grief, available through exhaustion. And now you are sitting here with me on this platform trying to figure out why the bath didn't fix it. The bath was never built for that. This is not a regular type of tire that I speak of. This is depletion with a good reputation. I'm not going to leave you with drop a word in the comments. Like your whole life can fit inside one little prompt in a comment. If you do not know what fills you anymore, that's not because you are empty-headed. That's because life trained you to answer everybody else before you ever checked in with yourself. So the real question is not, how do I get rest? The real question is, who are you when nobody needs you to be useful? That is where we're going next. Because some of you are not afraid to rest. You are afraid of who you might become when you stop performing the role that kept everyone else comfortable. Identity after usefulness, that's going to open up season 2. So trust me, that is a much harder conversation. I'm Shatika Miles, also known as Miss T, and this is Who's CTV. I'm the gas station. I fill you up so you can move. You still have to drive. Sip the truth, people. Live on purpose. And I'll see you in the next one.